Alright, so heading back over to the Eastern Shore for work, and might stop in at Ocean City to have lunch with a buddy at the world famous Secrets Beach Bar on the bay side of Ocean City. And then I'll be heading up to Dover for the evening. That's where I'm staying, and I'll probably wind up getting into the Dover $500 guaranteed poker tournament at the Dover Downs Hotel and Casino. Hopefully I'll run better than I did last time. Placed 10th the last time I played that tournament. So we'll see how it goes. See ya. Needed a golfer, so I'm golfing. I'm at the Rookery 2 in Milford, Delaware. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so far I'm 3 over par. I never said I was a good golfer, but maybe I can turn it around, see how the rest of the day goes. Alright, well, we wound up 4 over par. Ain't gonna win shit in this tournament. And, well, you know, we had a good day. I putted well, and overall we played okay. Can't complain about a day on the golf course. Eating, drinking, hitting some golf balls. Alright, I open up on the button with a King 3. It gets back to me, it's 2,000 to call, so I call. The flop winds up coming out 2, 3, 7, and 2 of those are hearts. It does wind up checking back to me, and I raise to 3,000. The small blind folds, and the big blind does call, and the turn winds up being a 3 of spades. I go to bet $5,000, and before I can even get my money out, the big blind folds, and we wind up taking the pot. Okay, so in this hand, we have Ace 10 under the gun, and comes back around to me, and it's 1,600 to call. So I call. And everyone else folds but the cutoff, and it winds up going heads up to the flop. The flop comes out Ace 8 King, 2 diamonds, the cutoff checks, and I go ahead and bet for $2,000. The cutoff snap calls, and the turn winds up being a 10 of clubs. So right now we have 2 pair. So I lead with a $5,000 bet. the cutoff snap calls, and the river is a 5. So I go ahead and lead in with a $20,000 bet. The cutoff snap calls and showdown, and he loses to our aces and 10s. Alright, so I didn't even get a chance to update you on last night's tournament, Dover Downs. I wound up in 8th place, and they paid the top 5 for this tournament, so I missed it by that much. But wound up going all in with a Jack 10 offsuit. The flop came out 10, 7, 5, and the turn came out 2, which didn't really help me. Obviously, I was looking for 3 10s at this point, and the river came out to be a ace. And the dude who went all in with me wound up having ace 5, and he beat me with a pair of aces. So it is what it is, but hey, we'll try it again next time. Alright, so decided to change things up today. Came to the free Ravens practice here at the bank, also known as M&T Bank Stadium. And just check the Ravens out, see how they're doing, and show my son a good time. Okay, so in one of my first hands at Hollywood Casino, I open up with Jack 10 of diamonds under the gun. I call the $200 minimum, and it goes 3 players to the flop. The flop comes out king to queen, 2 of hearts. It checks around to me, I check, and the turn is a ace of hearts. Checks to me again, and I want to bet in 200. The cutoff calls, and the river comes out an 8 of clubs. I think for a minute, and I wind up betting 300. The cutoff winds up calling, and I flip my cards over, and of course I have the straight, and I take down the pot. Okay, a couple hands later, I wind up getting pocket 3s on the button. It folds around to me, and I bet the 200. It winds up going 3 players to the flop. The flop comes out king 2-4, 2 diamonds. It checks to me. I do check. The turn comes out 6 of hearts. I go ahead and bet $300 at this point. The small blind winds up folding, and the big blind does call to see the river. The river comes out a 3, so I wind up having a set, and I went up bet $300. The big blind winds up folding, and we take down the pot. Okay, so this hand here is the hand that winds up doing me in for this little tournament here at the Hollywood Casino, Perryville. It's an $800 big blind. I wound up getting 3 callers, and I check my option to raise as the big blind. And the flop winds up coming out as a Jack 6 with 2 hearts. I'm thinking I have at least a high pair with a queen kicker at this point, so I bet
$2,000. 2 people do fold, and it winds up going heads up to the turn. The turn winds up being a 6, so I'm thinking I have 2 pair now with a queen high kicker. So I wind up going all in. We wind up flipping them over, and the river winds up being a 3, but it doesn't matter because I got beat by a full house. So that was the end of that day.
Well, that was episode 5. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. And see you guys in episode 6.